Who says that we can't have giant house numbers on the side of the house? You know how difficult it is when you're driving through a neighborhood and you're trying to find an address and you can't see it either on the person's door or maybe the mailbox, it's not lit up, or whatever it might be. Why do we have these conventions as a society, like this fitting in thing? You're going to be in a gated community, and that might be what the rules are, but who says that you can't have a little bit of fun with your exterior? I love typography. I'm a former graphic design professor, and I also love like reuse material. So the challenge here with this particular house um, is that the mailbox isn't close by. It's hard to see from the street. The mailbox is not closely associated with the property. It's a long driveway, and it's also a little bit below kind of like street level. Um, so it's kind of a nightmare for people to find. So why not put giant metal letters on the side of the building? So this was hand cut from previously, used and starting to decay, which is also something that I totally love. In Japan, they call it wabi sabi. It's kind of like the beauty in things that are just is, right? The beauty in aging, the beauty in decay, the beauty in all these things. So one of the projects that I'm working on right now is originally I painted this orange, and it's not really the best orange. And now that I'm in Tennessee, I realize like orange is like everywhere because of the football. Now I love orange. It's one of my favorite colors. But one of the other challenges is you can see this gets full sun almost all day long. And in an effort to really assess kind of energy efficiency after seeing like the electric bill every day kind of thing, and then also how people use the space if they're cold or it's drafty or what have you. So what I'm doing today is I found a certain product, and it's originally intended for roofs as a reflecting kind of material. So instead of redoing the entire siding, or putting more in, doing redoing the entire interior to take down all the walls and change the type of insulation that it is, this is going to be a solution that I think will brighten things up, freshen with a fresh coat of paint, and then also kind of help some heat and air conditioning bills. So let's take a look at the product and I'll show you the process. Okay, so this is a product that I found. Um, I looked online, and then at the local kind of independently owned hardware store, they had this on the shelf. So they had it as a gallon. I figured this would be something to try. Now, it does say for roof, but it's not a lot of coverage, and I think it's probably going to be a little thick. So it's good for metal, right? And it seals everything and reduces heat gain here. So we're gonna try this. Here's the roof repair information, and yeah. So okay, so the consistency pretty much like paint. It does say on the instructions not to apply this if it's going to rain within a certain amount of time. So it's fall, but the temperature feels like early summer. It's been really nice out the last few days and supposed to be nice for a few more days. So I'm going to tackle this project. So the instructions say that I'm probably going to need at least 2 coats, which is fine, especially because, I'm covering a darker color. with the white, but I'll show you just a couple of other things. Um, I like to paint with a brush in general, but this is also kind of, this structure was on the property when I acquired it, and the slow upgrades kind of identifying some things. So the other element was just sealing up all of the base here and just adding a ton of sheet metal screws just to keep all the gaps out, because little critters and insects can get into this so easily. And the other thing in Tennessee is that we have a lot of wasps. So you can see, like, up here, I did spray foam recently, but I missed a couple of spots. So that is going to be another aspect to this. So yeah, the texture of this really feels just a little bit thicker than regular paint, and it's going on just super nice. So I think this is going to be a great solution for energy efficiency and also just a fresh paint. Now, on the front of the house is vibrant color, and I'm actually painting flowers and maybe a giant butterfly. So who says you can't have artwork on the exterior of your house unless you're bound by crazy HOA that wants everybody to fit in and be uniform? Like, why do we need to do that, right? All right, let's check out the final aspect of this. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I feel like I painted the orange first and then had this idea for the numbers. And of course, rust and rusted materials rust even more over time. So kind of living with this for several years, to me, like color theory wise, this is a little bit like too similar in color, and the numbers are not popping as much as I like. And you can see a huge difference in just the one coat of how the numbers are going to really pop off and show that really cool texture of the rusted. Okay, first coat complete except for right above the window where there's some wasps. I'm going to take care of that tonight. It's already feels like it's drying a bit, and I'll come back in a little bit, do a second coat. Stay tuned. All right, so I didn't have to wait too long. This is drying pretty good, and the second coat is actually going on a lot thicker. I'll probably need a third coat, but I don't mind brush strokes. But you can see that it's good and thick. Yeah, this is great. Even though it says it's for roofs, like for RVs and that kind of thing, it's actually the perfect, to me, material. I bet they just don't want to say it's for the side of something. But I think this is going to solve that problem of just having a building that just bakes in the sun, especially in the summertime. So I am planting trees in various spots, but sometimes obviously trees take a while to grow. They can't really be too close to the house. And yeah, so this is like an element of that. But look how lovely that is. It goes up when I'm not trying to hold, but yeah, like one stroke, nice and thick. Yay. Okay. Worms. Where's your buddy? Are you helping? You're not helping. Marmalade. Buddy, I need to stand up. What are you doing? Marmalade. OMG. Dude. OMG. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's Japanese beetles swarming. OMG. Oh, look at them. Oh my gosh. All right, so we're at 2 coats, except for that top right corner there, which I probably will leave for now because tonight I'm gonna spray for wasps. But the irony is, all of a sudden, as I'm painting, it's Japanese beetle ladybugs swarming all of a sudden all over. Yeah, and some of them are getting stuck in the wet paint. However, I think one more coat at least. I mean, the white is beautiful pops. If you're up close, you can kind of see the brush strokes, but I don't really care about that. It's kind of shabby chic, so to speak. And it kind of actually mimics the rusty pattern. But I think that if I do at least one more coat, we're gonna get this like a good thickness for this product to work. So I haven't used too much. You can kind of see, right? So I think it's really meant to be kind of like a thick coating to reflect any sun heat. So the sun is setting, and I think that this is looking really snazzy. Really snazzy. Now, debate on the top there. I have to probably wash it. I'm leaving those little bubbles of the foam. I think some people with maybe OCD or something might cut them off, but I kind of want just to make sure that no creatures can, aka wasps, and climb up in there. So you can kind of see the sunset right now. Awesome. And my helper, Hank. Hi, dude. So it's early morning, sun's up, and I think that this bright white, that's what it's intended to do, is reflect the sun and lower energy. So the three coats looks pretty good, and I'll be finishing the rest up here at the top level for the ladder today. All right, day 2 update. It is looking really sharp from a distance, and working on the final coats up top. But when I get close up, there's a few, like I can still kind of see the orange from underneath, little stroke marks, little show through. But it's only like in the close-up space. So I'm going to do one more quick coat over the entire thing since it's a nice day out. But let's take a look at the difference between, partially might be like when it's freshly painted wet versus dry. Yeah, so I think it looks really great. There's a few, I don't know if you can even see, a few close-up areas where you can see the brushstroke and kind of the color behind it because the color was so dark. This is a section where I just painted. So yeah, it's not that much, and totally have plenty of product left. So I will show you the final when it's complete right next. All right, so this is the end of the video. Really appreciate you watching. If you would subscribe and hit the notification, leave comments. I really think that this not only has freshened up the side of the house, it's going to help with some of the energy bills, and painting for me is just really therapeutic. So it's been just beautiful weather and a chance to be outside, so I highly recommend finding an excuse for you to do the same. And if you ever have a chance to go funky and kind of subvert the kind of standards that are, 5-inch numbers on the side of the house that you can't see, go for it. Thank you so much, and see you next time.